Hey Siri, tell me a good joke.
What do you call a nose with no body? Nobody knows.
That's a really bad joke. Welcome back guys, my name is Aleksander and today we're going to create the animation you've just seen. So first of all, let's create a new composition, call it Siri animation. 1080 by 1080, 10 seconds, press OK. Now let's create a new background, new solid, call it BG. And for the color, I already have the hex color, so 160A40, press OK. Now let's lock this layer so we don't move it by accident. And now let's create a circle. So first of all, take the rectangular tool, double click on that. And now take the ellipse tool and make sure you have this tool creates mask button selected. Now hold shift to create a perfect circle. And let's drag a big one right here. Now we want to move this circle in the middle, so the only method I know how to do this is to first of all enable the title action save and then take the mask, Ctrl T to access its property, and let's try to align this point with this cross. So now we have the ellipse in the middle. Now let's take the feather and increase it to about 35 maybe, or more, maybe 40. Alright, and I guess I can decrease its size a little bit, so hold Alt and Shift, actually Ctrl and Shift, so decrease its size a little bit. Alright, that's better. Now we can turn off the title action save. Now let's rename this layer to circle. So now let's create 5 more circles in the same way we've created this one. So for that, take the rectangle tool again, double click on it, and now select the ellipse tool. Make sure you have this button selected, and let's drag here a circle about this size, and let's change its color. Take the move tool to do that, and let's change this color to F72585. Alright, and let's rename this layer to pink. Now take the mask and move it just a little bit over this big green circle, something like this. Actually, let's increase its size a little bit. So hold shift and drag with the mouse, something like this. Now let's duplicate this layer 4 more times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the second one will be green. Let's also change its color to 52B788, press OK, and make sure you move the mask and not the entire layer. So let's say I want to move it here. Now the third one will be teal. Let's also change its color for CC970, press OK, M to reveal the mask. And I think I wrote the hex code wrong because this obviously isn't teal, so select the fill again and correct the code to 9F0 instead. Also move the circle like a little bit to the exterior. Now the fourth one will be blue. Change its color to a blue one, something like 4895EF. Take its mask, move it here, and the last one will be violet, and for the color 7209B7. Press OK, take again the mask and move it, let's say here. Alright, now let's close this down and take all the shapes and just drag them below the circle. Now take the circle and make it the same color as the one from the background. So let's change this to 160A40, press OK. So it seems to me that the circles are a little bit over the boundary, so I'm going to select all of them again, press M to reveal the mask, and I'm going to move them one by one a little bit inside. So something like this. Alright, now I'm going to take the first one, the pink one, and I'm going to search for a turbulent displace effect. Double click on it, and I'm going to let the settings on default here. But one thing I have to do is to click on this evolution keyframe. Now select the layer, press U to reveal the property, and now hold Alt and press on the stopwatch, and just right here time multiplied by 50. And this one will actually change the evolution of the effect without having to actually create a lot of keyframes. So yeah, now let's take this effect, Ctrl C to copy it, let's select the other layers and Ctrl V to paste the effect. And now I want to see this layer panel full window, so I'm going to press that tilde key. If you're on a Mac, I don't really know how to access this. So what I want to do now is select all the shapes, press U to reveal the turbulent displace property, toggle this down to see the expression we just created. So here I actually want to be time multiplied by 100, for the second one time multiplied by 200, for the third one multiplied by 150, for the fourth one multiplied by 130, and for the last one multiplied by 170. Okay, now let's exit this full screen panel, and for the first one I'm going to let the amount to 50. For the green one I'm going to change the amount to 30. For the teal one I'm going to change it to 40. For the blue one I'm going to change it to -40. And for the last one I'm going to change it to -30. Alright. Now take all the layers again and press U to close the effects. Now what I want to do is to rotate every shape around the circle, around the big circle. So for that it's very important to have the anchor point, this one, in the middle of the big circle. So in this way, when I rotate it, you can see that it rotates around the big circle. So press R for rotation, hold Alt and click on the stopwatch, and let's write again here time multiply by 50. And now it rotates forever without any keyframes. So let's take this expression, also click on the stopwatch just to have this rotation effect when we press U. So take the rotation, Ctrl C to copy it, select all the other layers and Ctrl V to paste the effect. So now every shape is rotating around the bigger circle. Alright, let's close this down. So now what I want to do is to make every circle change its color. So there's two methods for that. The first one will be to take a fill effect, apply the fill effect, and let's keyframe the color property. This is just an example, a quick example. So here this should be its initial color, and then we can go a couple of frames forward and keyframe this again and apply the color for the green one, and so on. But a quicker method would be to use the color offset effect. So we're going to do this. So first of all, let's just delete the fill effect. And now let's search here for the color offset effect. Double click on it, press on the red face keyframe, on the green face keyframe, and on the blue face keyframe. Let's make this panel full screen again, and let's toggle the color offset effect. And actually I want the keyframes to be at the beginning. So now hold Alt and click on the stopwatch for the red, green and blue. So I'm going to write here for the first one time multiply by 50 again. We're going to use this effect a lot, it's very useful. For the first one time multiply by 100, and for the last one time multiply by 150. Now let's take the color offset effect and let's apply it to every other shape with Ctrl V. Let's take the layers, press U, and now we have the effect to all layers. So let's see. Yeah, you can see how the color is changing. Alright, Let's now close this, and now let's put all together by creating a new adjustment layer. Call it effects and move it below the circle. So let's search here for a fast box blur, and I'm going to increase the blur radius to about 35 and the iterations to 4, repeat edge pixels, and also I'm going to apply here a radial blur effect, but we're going to configure this later. Now let's create another circle. So for that, take the ellipse tool and let's just drag a big circle. Let's change its color to 261C54, press OK, center this in the middle, and let's also decrease its opacity to about 25. But actually before that, let's animate this with the scale property. So click the stopwatch, go 60 frames forward. I'm going to move 10 frames at once by holding Ctrl Shift and the forward arrow. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And now I'm going to put another keyframe, and again 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and another keyframe. So actually for the first one, I want this circle to be a little bit smaller, something like this. And for the middle one, I'm going to increase this to about this size. And for the last one, I'm going to just copy the first keyframe. Now select the scale property again, press F9 and go here in this graph editor, and let's just modify a little bit this curve, something like this. And for the last one, something like this. Alright, now hold Alt and press on the stopwatch, and let's write here again time, actually not time, loop out. And now we're going to use the cycle property. So now even when the keyframes are over, the circle is still animated. Alright, now let's press T for opacity and let's decrease it to about 25. Now let's go in the project panel, and I already have a microphone photo here, but you can download it from the flat icons, or I'm going to leave a link in the description. So let's apply a fill effect to this. Let's change its color to white. Let's move this below the shape layer 1. Let's also rename this one to small, actually interior circle. Okay, this one will be the microphone. Press S for scale and let's decrease its scale a little bit. Alright, maybe the circle is a little bit smaller, so let's also change the scale to maybe 92, and also for the last keyframe 92. Yeah, alright. Now let's go back to the effects layer and enable the radial blur effect, and let's increase this amount to about 85, and make sure we have this pin type here. And we're pretty much done with the animation, but let me just render the preview and then we're going to create the final adjustments. So this is how it looks now. Yeah, pretty cool, I say. And the last thing I want to do is to add a little bit of noise. So for that, let's create a new adjustment layer, and let's search here for noise HLS. And for the lightness, I'm going to change this to 7 and also to squared. And now an optional step would be to create some contrast with the curves and also some color balance. So for that, create a new adjustment layer, but before that, let's rename this one to noise and the last one to color, and let's apply some curves effect and create just a bit of an S curve to create some contrast, not too much, something like this, and also some color balance. I've already played with the settings, so for the shadow red, I'm going to change this to 75, for the shadow blue to -5, for the mid-tone red to -8, for the mid-tone green to 13, for the mid-tone blue to 10, for the highlight red to 19, and for the highlight green to -7. So there's actually one more thing we forgot to do, and that's to animate the scale property for each color. So take the pink one, press S for scale, click on the stopwatch and go 20 frames forward, and let's now increase the scale a little bit, something like this. Now go again 20 frames and let's copy the first keyframe. Also press F9 to smooth the animation and hold Alt and click on the stopwatch to loop the property with the cycle effect. Now take the scale, Ctrl C, and copy it to all the other layers. But let's distribute the keyframes for each layer. So now, for the first one, let the keyframes at the beginning. For the second one, put the keyframes here. For this one, maybe here. And for this one, maybe here. So now we have the loop out animation, which affects the time after the last keyframe, but we also want to have the animation before the first keyframe. So normally we should write here a loop in effect, but with the ping pong modifier. Let's also change the modifier for the first expression. So the problem here is that if we have both the loop in and the loop out animation, only the loop in effect will work. So in order to solve this, we have to write here if time is lower than keyframe 1 dot time, then we're going to loop in. Alright, else we're going to loop out. So let's see if it works now. Yeah, we now have the animation after the keyframes and also before the first keyframe. So now take the effect, Ctrl C, and let's also change it for the violet, for the teal one, for the green one, and also for the pink one. Alright, let's see how it works now. Let me just change the resolution to 3rd. So yeah, you can see now that some shapes are bigger in certain moments, and with this they stand out a little bit more, and that's what we really want. So yeah, and that's the final result now. Hey Siri, tell me a good joke.
What do you call a nose with no body? Nobody knows.
That's a really bad joke.